Hello friends, welcome back to another video with me. My name is Cotton Candy Doll. If you're new here, then welcome all. This is a shifting video. Also, happy Juneteenth. I decided to do a video today because I'm black. So if you're black, shout outs to you. If you're not, shout outs to you too for supporting us or whatever. So I'm going to go to a few events today. I have a lot to do. I've never been to any of the Juneteenth events actually, so I'm really excited to participate in that today. Today marks the day where slavery ended. It's basically Independence Day for black people, like July 4th. So July 4th, we were technically still slaves, so Juneteenth was the day we actually became free. So, if you guys don't understand what that actually is. So I'm going to jump into the video. I'm going to tell you guys about what's been going on in my hero. I just want to have a nice calm talk with you guys. I brought my my mug I got for my birthday. You guys remember this mug? Well, I put hot chocolate in here. It's pumpkin spice hot chocolate. It reminds me of the good old days in the fall. Fall I think is my favorite season. And I like fall because all the leaves change and actually the flavors change too, like food and stuff. Yeah. Did you guys know that? Yeah, it's really true. So sitting kind of weird, but it's okay. So I'm going to jump into what's been happening in my hero. Also, you guys, I don't know if I told you, but I am a teacher. So school is about to end for me. Summertime's coming around, which means I'll have more time to do my videos. I'll actually have the time to do it in the mornings instead of rushing out of here. So yeah, so I look forward to having a nice summer story time with you guys and being able to tell you more about shifting. Now, as far as shifting goes, I've been trying to find my own plane, like my own area, even my own room space. I've been fighting a little harder during the daytime as opposed to nighttime trying to shift. And that's mainly because I'm so tired. I'm so tired during the daytime. So like now I'm just trying to figure that out, and it's impossible to shift anywhere when you're working because there's people around you. They're like, what the heck are they doing? Just be like staring at you. So I mean, I want to make it possible to leave anytime I want. Just leave. You know, but it's hard to leave your consciousness there too. You'll be like out of it. So yeah, I missed you guys. How have you been? I hope you guys have been doing well. So I'm gonna jump right into what's been happening, what the plans are. You guys saw the thumbnail. I'm not gonna give too much away, but you can already guess what's kind of going on in the picture. Whenever I do my thumbnails, I try not to give you guys too much, but I try to give you some clue of what's happening. So I went back to my hero, and lately, ever since that little tag team that Toshinori and Keigo did on me, they've kind of been acting really weird around each other. And I kind of wanted to break that cycle because it's always like that. They don't talk for like weeks. It's like they forget their friends or something, or I don't know, they just become really weird. So I came up with a plan to make this, I basically purchased this piece of land in my hero. It was really, really cheap. They asked me what I want in there. I said a hot tub. They said, that's literally all you want? Yes, I want a hot tub. I want a jacuzzi. I want a place where I can decompress. But my plan was to trick Keigo into coming there with Toshinori. So they can like get time together in the tub. They can just chill together. And basically they can just rebuild whatever weirdness is happening between them. And I don't get it because they plan to do these things to me and then they act like this later. Guys, it's so freaking weird. So anyway, I invite Keigo over. I'm like, Keigo, come over to this new place that I have. It's really cool. I own it now. He's like, you own it? I'm like, yeah, come see. He goes, okay. I'm like, here, you know, I got him in the hot tub. I told him I'll be right back. I was going to go get dinner ready. Right? So I left in the other room, but I just left out the back door and I went around. Toshinori's house was literally like a couple of miles. So like, since I didn't want to use my quirk, because I haven't been really using my quirk like that since, I'm going to tell you guys about the whole Madara ideal, like what's happening with him and everything too. So I haven't really been, because he can sense when I'm using my ability. He'll just come there. Madara will just pop up like, hey, it's nice that we're friends, but you don't need to do that every time I'm somewhere. You don't need to just pop up because you sense my presence or whatever. So because of that, to make him not be able to sense me, I decide, you know, just walk. It's not far, it's just up the street. Along the way, I ran into Endeavor. I'm like, oh, Endeavor. He's like, hey. He's like, you heading to Toshinori's? I'm like, yeah. He said, I'll walk with you. So we go there, and this is kind of ruining my plan because it never should not be right here. It's supposed to be just me by myself, and then when I get there, I can talk to Toshinori about what we're trying to do. So we get to Toshinori's house. Toshinori is like, hey, he's like, what are you doing in Endeavor? I was like, he was already on his way over here. He goes, hey. He goes, she's not going to try nothing. And I'm just like, dude, I don't want you. I never wanted you. That whole thing was a whatever. So I'm like, I had a place I wanted to show you, you know. He's like, oh, what is it? I'm like, you know, my little spot. I have a little spot now. He's like, okay, all right, I'll go with you. I'm like, okay. I said, you might want to just come there in like a pair of shorts or whatever. I said, think of it like a beach. And he kind of did this, like, he gave me like this kind of eye, like narrow. And I'm just like, whatever, like, that's weird. He goes, what are you planning? I'm like, nothing. I'm not planning anything. He's like, can you really trust her, Toshinori? So now you're being suspicious of me too. Like, you might ruin my plan. So, and like Endeavor will walk off and do whatever. You know, so Endeavor's like, I'll see you guys later. I'm just going to go on. I'm, you know, going to take myself out of this equation. And he backs up and he has his hands up, like looking at me. I'm just like, he's acting really weird anyway, because you guys remember how he was just like, you know, he was like, don't come for me and stuff. So anyway, me and Toshinori are walking to my spot, to where the hot tub is. Keigo's already in there. So my plan was just to get him there with us and basically have Keigo invite him in the hot tub with him. And then I can join them in the hot tub and we can all just sit there, or they can just sit there by themselves, right? So I'm just like, yeah, so I'm like, oh, here it is now. And I open the door and I let him go inside. So he gets to the second room. This room is literally nothing, okay? It's basically just 4 walls and a hot tub. So he walks in there. The lights are kind of dim. And Keigo has his back like to the door, so he doesn't see us coming in. And I'm like, Toshinori, go in. And he goes, who is that? What is this? I'm like, this is a hot tub. You know, this is going to be our new spot to you know, hang out and chill out at, you know, just so that we can, you know, decompress and stuff. Because it's nice. It's a good idea. I came up with something good and relaxing for them, right? I did them a favor. I'm helping them rekindle their friendship. Because honestly, they haven't talked in like months. And I don't know what's going on. So anyway, I'm like, go on, Toshinori, and I push him toward the tub. So then Keigo is like, hey. He's like, hey. He gets inside the tub. And they're just sitting there awkwardly. And I'm like, you guys okay? You good? They're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll, you know, get in too. And they both just look at me. And I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not going to get in. Because I can see this turning into... I don't want it to become that situation in a hot tub, okay? It's just weird for me. Like, I've never been like a real huge fan of like water. I do like the water, but it still does something to me. I almost drowned years ago. So being in a hot tub, and the water is pretty high, but it had like it had handlebars on it and stuff. I made sure to make it big enough so that they were comfortable in it. It was really for them. So I'm like, so Toshinori was like, where are you going? I'm like, I gotta go get something. So then I turn around and I'm getting ready to leave out. I open the door and Endeavor's there. Endeavor is like, hey, Miss Cotton Candy Doll, what do you have over here? I'm like, nothing. He goes, what are you planning? I'm like, nothing. I'm not planning anything. Why are you interrogating me? So then he opens the door all the way and Keigo and Toshinori are sitting down in the hot tub. So they both look at him. They're like, hey. He goes, oh, hey. He goes, so this is like a den? I'm like, no, this is like an area I got for them. He goes, it's okay, it's a den. I could chill out here. So he starts removing his clothes. And I'm just like, so he gets in his boxers. He jumps into the hot tub and splashes the water over there. And they're just like this. Like, he goes, yeah, so this would be a nice little spot for us to hang out. I thought he goes, this is really cool, Miss Cotton Candy Doll. This is really cool. I like this. And I'm just like, they're like, you know what? Toshinori's like, I hadn't thought of that. This could be our little, you know, our little place. And he was like, yeah, we can come and talk here when we need to. And Keigo was like, it's not a bad idea. And they're just talking now, and I'm standing there. I'm just like, great. So then I leave out, and I'm just like, okay. So they basically, you know, I just created like a little den for all of them to hang out at. Not a place for us to, you know, because Endeavor got involved. I guess he thought I was up to something. Like, I would never physically harm them in any way. I guess I can do some harmful stuff sometimes, but it's not going to be kill them. They won't actually die from it. They might be a little bit tortured, but they're not going to die. I mean, come on, I'm not that cruel. Anyway, guys, I don't have any makeup on. No makeup. See, this is me, no makeup. I know. I'm surprised the screen didn't break when I looked at it this morning for me not wearing any makeup or anything. Like, I don't even have lip balm on. My lips are like really crusty. You guys can see. Can you see my crusty lips? I know. Ain't nothing like a girl with some crusty lips. Exactly. Somebody once told me that. I mean, I guess it was just a joke, but yeah, so I'm leaving out of there or whatever. So that's what happened that one time, and then I came back here. And so, like, ever since then, I was thinking about, like, the hot tub and all that, and how it became their den area, and how I made that for him. So every time Endeavor sees me, he's like, "Thank you, Miss Cotton Candy Doll. I feel like I've really bonded with him." I'm like, "You're welcome, Mr. Endeavor." Endo. He's like, "What'd you say?" I'm like, "Mr. Endeavor. I've never called you Mr. Endeavor before, but since you started calling me Miss Cotton Candy Doll, that's what I'm going to call you, you know?" So anyway, I go back to the, so I came back here. I was just like, that's unbelievable. It'll definitely be different when I go back, you know, and I'll have a chance to, that totally hasn't happened. Like I said, it was completely taken over by the guys. Nothing I can do about that. I guess I kind of did that to myself, trying to be, you know, devious or whatever. And that's what happens. Sometimes things don't work out your way. And that's fine. I'm perfectly okay with it. So, I went back. That was actually a while ago. I went back again because it was nearing. I wanted to go to a meeting. Basically, school was going to be ending, and they were going to talk about all the activities we can do in the summer with the kids. And so, Principal Nezu comes up, and he's like, "I have a few kids here who are going to have to attend summer school, and I wanted some volunteers to come and help out during the summer. Anybody volunteer?" And I'm looking around the room, no one's raising their hands. I mean, all the UA teachers are there. Mr. Aizawa didn't raise his hand. He's like, Principal Nez was like, "Anybody? Miss Cotton Candy Doll?" I'm like, "Yes, I do that every day. I teach at the school, so I don't really want to come here and do that too. Like, I want my summer." Mr. Aizawa, of course he didn't raise his hand. He just wants a nap all summer, I guess. I was expecting Endeavor to be like, you know, he'll do it or whatever, raise his hand, but he didn't either. And then Toshinori raised his hand, and he's like, "I'm gonna be here in the summer no matter what anyway." So he goes, "I have to train young Midoriya. We're gonna be training." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then Endeavor is like, "Toshinori, he cannot train with you because he has work to do during the summer with me." And I'm like, "Hold up. He didn't raise his hand though. What's going on, Endeavor?" Endeavor is like, "He didn't complete his preliminary course with me, so he got to do them over. And he's not very happy about it." I'm like, "Well," I said, "just send him a note and say, like," it was just my opinion. I said, "Just send him a note, say, like, you know, you want to do your best and all that, you know. With Midoriya, all you really got to do is encourage him, and he gets really excited. Like, he'll get up and it doesn't take much to inspire him. Some other kids are a little bit more depressed than him, and it takes them a lot longer to, like, really get it in focus. So I'm just like, Midoriya's easy. Just tell him, you know." And Deborah's like, "It's not really that, it hasn't been that easy with him." And I'm just like, okay. And apparently Toshinori was with him last time, and he got really upset with him and started yelling and pounding his fist against the wall because he wanted the day off. He wanted the summer off with his friends, and he wouldn't get to do it because he had to spend it in school. And I was just like, you know, I'm like, Midoriya kind of needs to get over himself. Sometimes you need summer school. Like, it's not anything you can do about it. And honestly, I think it's the teacher's fault to the kids. They're a failure. If your kid has to take summer school, it's because you failed as a teacher. You didn't teach them everything you could have. Unless they were like special needs, then they did need the extra help. Well, in that case, you can't really help it there. Because I've worked with a lot of special ed kids, and it's really hard for them to sometimes, their cognitive thinking, everything. But Midoriya, I don't see what the problem was. Apparently it's because he was skipping school a lot. Midoriya hasn't really been attending classes a lot, I guess, except my class. Thank you, Midoriya, for attending my class because, you know, my class is the best class. But no, I mean, he hasn't really been doing a lot of his academic work, I guess. So they were like mad. Yeah, he got mad. He like threw a fit, I guess, about it to Endeavor. Endeavor was like, he's not gonna handle this, and he doesn't want to handle Midoriya because everybody already looks at him as like a mean anyway. I guess. Honestly, I'm just like, that's not really. Did I turn my camera? Holy cow, I did turn it. I'm just like, you know, that's not really everybody's problem thing. I don't know how I feel about that, but just whatever. So they all volunteered, right? And I said, good. I'm gonna get the summer to myself, right? I'm gonna get the summer to myself. And so then he was like, Principal Nezu was like, all right, so that ends our meeting then. Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to say. And I'm like, yes. He goes, Miss Cotton Candy, Doc, can you sit down? I'm like, this is not happening to me. I do not want to be stuck in this meeting while all of them get to leave because I already know he's going to try and keep me here for the summer, right? So Principal Nezu, everyone starts leaving out. He closes the door. He's like, Miss Cotton Candy, I have a question for you. I'm like, is it like a personal question? Or he goes, no, this is a school question. I'm like, okay. He goes, would you be willing to stay here in the summer and teach? I said, I wanted the summer off because he goes, you know, Madara's going to be here, and he asked me to ask you if you can help him. I'm like, can you just tell him no, that I'm not going to be here to help him? And he's like, I mean, you are his friend, right? You're the closest thing he has to a friend. Nobody else really pays attention to him. Nobody really likes him, except for you. Apparently, you guys are like brother and sister, right? And you're not going to be there to support him while everyone else is against him? That's not really fair, is it? And Principal Nezu sits down and he sips out of his mug like this, like, he's not smiling. He's like, you're not going to be there to help him? And then he sets it down and I'm just like, why are you guilt tripping me? I didn't say that, but I'm just thinking, like, why are you guilt tripping me about this? Like, Madara did not come and ask me himself. So then I go, why didn't he ask me himself? And Principal Nezu's like, he tries not to show up here that much. You know the guys don't like him. I said, but if I'm with him, won't that create a problem? Principal Nezu says no, because you'll be working with Endeavor and Madara. I'm like, why do I have to work with Endeavor too? He goes, oh, it's Midoriya. So you mean to tell me the three of us are going to be working with Midoriya because he threw a fit? He can't throw a tantrum. He's a kid. I don't care if he's a teenager. He's a kid. They can still throw tantrums. It might not look like the kind you see in a 5-year-old, but slamming your desk down, you know, punching the wall, you know, banging against stuff, you know, kicking things around, that's technically like throwing a little fit. He can throw a fit. He has the right to be upset. He gets to miss his summer with his friends. And not every day of the summer, just like the whole week. And then you get the weekend again. Yeah, that really sucks. It does suck. But if you think about it, so UA High, their summer school is from like 6 a.m. until 12 p.m. But then after 12, you know, you have like homework. Homework takes what? 20 to 30 minutes if you do it right away. I mean, you got to think of this not as a college aspect, as a kid. A lot of people are probably thinking, yeah, it's like college work you get in the morning. But if this is like kid stuff, it's going to be done in like, his homework will be done in 20 minutes. Now you got the whole rest of your day. And at least you get early enough. It might suck that you got to get up at like 6 o'clock. But at least you're up early enough that later the rest of your day you can just do whatever you want. Like, you still get the summer with your friends. If your friends want to go to the beach at 2, it's not a problem. So then I'm like, okay, well, you know, I said, yes, I'll do it. And he goes, very good. I'm like, is that all? He goes, yes, you can leave. So I leave out, walking down the hallway, and I hear Endeavor tearing somebody a new one. I mean, like, who do you think you are? How dare you? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I walk up and I see Endeavor, and he's looking over at Midoriya. Midoriya's just sitting on the floor in the hallway. And Bakugo is standing back, and he kind of like just backs away and goes back into the classroom. And I'm just like, who else is in the classroom? So I go past Midoriya. Midoriya kind of side-sides me as he's sitting on the floor, clearly with a frown on his face. He's really mad. And I go into the classroom, and Tokoyami is there, Bakugo, Mina, basically almost all of UA, just a couple of kids are missing. I noticed Minetta wasn't there. And so I'm looking around, I'm like, okay. I'm like, what are you all still doing here? And they're like, if Midoriya can't have his summer, nor are we. I'm like, if Midoriya can't have his summer, you guys can't. You realize that his success does not depend on you guys, right? You realize that if you do better than him, you move on. And if your friends can't go with you, you have to do it on your own. It's about your success, about you succeeding. So basically, I ended up lecturing them about that because it's true. Like, you can't piggyback off your friend to the next grade. That's not the way it works. You're gonna fail. So I basically just kind of passed on that information to them, and they kind of just was like, okay. They said, we're still gonna be here for Midoriya, but I guess we don't have to take the classes with him. I'm like, you don't have to, because it's his struggle. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know he was struggling in school. I would have helped him. He never came to me and said, "Miss Cotton Candy, I need help with this academic stuff." Ever. He just, and they don't ever talk about academics ever. So I'm just like, whatever. So now I ended up leaving there. I'm just like, wow. So then I'm like, okay, well, let me go back to Keigo house, because since I was supposed to go see him. So I go over to Keigo house, and I knock on the door, and Endeavor is in there with him, and they're talking and chatting it up. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm here to see you. And he's like, okay, come in and sit down. So I go in and I sit down. I'm making coffee and stuff and making breakfast. And it doesn't feel right to only make breakfast for Keigo since Endeavor is there. So I make him waffles too. And I put the waffles and stuff down. And they're eating and stuff. And Endeavor is like, is it safe to eat this? And he starts laughing. And Keigo starts laughing too. And I'm just like, you guys are like bros now? Like what? I didn't say that, but I'm just looking at them. They're just laughing up and talking. And I'm just sitting there. And I'm just like, okay. So then I'm like, I sort of want to confront Keigo, because I'm just like, I want to see what he's doing. Like, are you guys becoming like better friends now? Because that's great if I was able to do that. And in a way, I'm kind of, I hate to say it, I was a little bit jealous. I'm sorry. Only because, like, I wanted Endeavor to be the type of friend that I am with Madara. I wanted us to be close like that. That's what I thought. When he became like when he became a godfather to my child, I thought, okay, Endeavor and I are going to become like brothers, basically. We're going to be those people with that relationship, right? But that's not what happened. Okay, we didn't become those people with that relationship. Instead, it ended up being me and Madara, because he didn't have enough time. Endeavor didn't really want to spend a lot of time around me, because I was with, I really wanted that relationship with us to be like brother and sister, to where we're cool. Not him getting a creepy vibe every time he look at me, like I might do something to him. So I decided, I know how to run him away. I'm going to just start hitting on Keigo the whole time, and maybe he'll just get the point and he'll leave, right? So I come over to Keigo, and I'm like, hey, I was like, I haven't had any milk in a long time. And Keigo just side-eyes me, and he's like, smirks, milk. I'm like, yeah. And Endeavor is just like, it's in the refrigerator. I'm like, he's like, well, I'll get it for you. He gets up and takes it out and puts it on the counter, and then he sits back down next to Keigo. So they're talking and laughing, and I was like, Keigo, I'm feeling really sleepy. I was like, do you have something I can sleep in? Like a shirt or something? And Keigo is like, here, he said, let's go in the room, and I'll get something out of my closet for you to wear. And Endeavor is like, what's wrong with your clothes you have on? Aren't you going home anyway afterwards? Why do you need to change your clothes if you're just taking a nap? Because I don't change into my night clothes to take a nap. Don't you think that's weird, Keigo? That's weird, right? I'm just like, you know what? That is kind of weird. I think I'll just lay down with this on. So then I go to the room, and I'm like, I'm laying there, and I'm just like, okay. And all of a sudden, I just got, okay. So I got mad, okay. I'm laying there, and I suddenly got mad. And I said, you know what? He's pissed me off. So I'm going to just ruin his room. So I just took everything out of his. Keigo hates this, right? Everything is organized. So I opened up his sock drawer. I just started throwing his socks on the floor. I threw his underwear and all his stuff on the floor. I pulled off his I pulled his comforter off onto the floor. I ripped off the fita sheet and I threw that stuff around. I basically just started ruining all of his stuff. And so I came back in the room. I was like, well, I'm not tired. Because I thought you wanted to take a nap. I said, I'm not going to take a nap. I'm going to leave now. I was like, I'll see you guys later. And I left out and I was walking down, I'm walking down the street and I'm just like, you know what? Like, you didn't have any business to ignore me today. I get that you have company there, but that's no reason to be rude to me. You know, asking if the food is safe to eat and crap. Like, when I gave Endeavor his waffles and stuff, he cutting them. Is it safe to eat? Like, that means you told him the stuff I've been doing. Why would you tell him that? This is not for everybody to know every time you meet somebody. I guess I did help them become friends, but at the same time, it's like, whatever. I want you and Toshinori to be back how you guys were. You're just really weird now. Maybe I'll be off the hook. Maybe they won't tag team me anymore. I don't know. I'm not saying that I haven't ever imagined. It's not like I never ever imagined that before. Like, I never said, I wonder what it'd be like with both of them, like, together with me in an intimate way. It's not like I never thought of that. But the thing is, Keigo just gets too dang jealous. That's why I split up their time. That's why my day with Toshinori is this day, my day with Keigo is like this day. So they don't clash into them. I don't go to someone else's house after I leave. I just leave and I come back later. So, I mean, there's that. So that's what's really been going on. Frodo is getting as big as ever. He's getting bigger every day. I don't really discipline him. I let the guys do it because I'm not there long enough to do that. There was just one time. There was only one time I think I really disciplined Frodo, but I don't really do it because, like I said, I'm not really there enough that I should be responsible for that. That's for one of them to do. You know, Keigo decides he likes playing games that hurt people. Recently, he played a game like that in his school, where basically it's a game where you guys kind of, just knock each other over. You just shove them as hard as you can into the wall. And I don't know where this evil streak from him came from. None of us are evil that way. I'm kind, okay? I would never intentionally hurt someone. But Frodo thinks it's funny. So I told him, I said, Mommy is not going to, spank you, okay? I'm not going to discipline you. I said, it's probably going to be Toshinori, right? Or Endeavor. Or Daddy. Which one? He chose Toshinori. And I know why he chose Toshinori. Because Endeavor will light your ass up, your daddy will. But Toshinori will spank you and then give you ice cream. I already know how he works, because I've seen it already. I've seen him do it several times. He'll give him ice cream afterwards. So he knows every time he gets in trouble, if he gets hit by you, he gets ice cream. So guess who's no longer going to discipline you? Toshinori, because he's obviously spoiling you afterwards. I guess as he feels bad. I've never actually been there when I've never seen Toshinori do anything to him. But I've always seen him give him ice cream after. And I've always seen Frodo crying. So I know Frodo got in trouble. I just don't know what the extent he got in trouble. And I don't think Frodo's playing him because it's not fake tears. They're real, but it's like he always gives him ice cream afterwards. Endeavor doesn't do that. Endeavor makes him take a nap. He'll tell him no, go lay down afterwards. Don't look at me. And I know Keigo will put him in a high chair and he'll just sit up there. Because he uses that as a punishment. And I told him that's not a good punishment because putting him in a high chair, he's going to think he's getting food or something and then he's just sitting there. So my poor baby, my poor child. I don't want to discipline his kid. I just don't want to. I don't want to see him cry. I hate it. I hate his cry. He has the ugliest cry. And it's very annoying. So there's that. So Frodo is still good. He's getting bigger. He's getting every day, but at the same time, he's still bad. So he still has to get in trouble a lot. I'm working on, I'm gonna work on something with him over this summer. We might take a trip somewhere. I might take him to like a water park or something, and just me and him together. I still get my time with him on Wednesdays. It's just me and him, so Frodo and me time. I want to do another Frodo and me video. Oh, speaking of which, I have something to tell you guys. So you guys know I wanted to do a Mario birthing video for the longest, where I birthed Mario out of an amniotic sac. I cannot find a suitable Mario model for that. And I know I keep promising you guys this. Oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then you guys never ever see it. So I'm going to stop doing that. So I don't have Mario, but I do have Toshinori. So I'm going to put Toshinori on one. I'm going to hatch him out. Well, not hatch him, but I'm going to birth him out of an amniotic sac. Probably sometime next week or the week after. When I figure it out, I'll put what I'll do first is I'll put up a post telling you guys what I'm doing. And then you guys will be able to see. So, yeah, so if you guys like this video, don't forget to give this video a like. If you hated it, then you know what to do. Also, ring the notification bell. That way you're notified when there's other videos like this one available. Bing! And I guess I'll see you guys in my next video. Yeah, I'm going to end my video here. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to like. I'll be doing another video soon. Let me know what interests you the most about seeing the birthing video. Alright, well, I'll see you guys. I don't really want to end the videos, as you guys can tell, but I have somewhere I gotta be. So, thank you guys for watching. Bye. Did I end it? Oh, okay.